the Nigerian government allegedly spent more than 240 million naira on tyres in one day. Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, is completely at 0 point. Those who voted for Alhaji Bola Tinubu to lead Nigeria are now suffering more than other Nigerians who said that he is not the right man for the job, and they rejected him from day one because they knew he could not deliver. But because of tribesman mentality, some groups of people voted for him, and now as the President of Nigeria, he has turned the country into a debt nation. How can the government of Nigeria spend over 240 million naira on tyres in a day as alleged? Such huge sums of money can float companies in Nigeria where tyres can be produced. But because the leadership of Nigeria has no direction, they spent such a huge amount of money on just tyres in a day. This is so surprising. Again, we are calling on the people of Nigeria to have a rethink in the 2027 election. If a leader who has nothing to offer the people of Nigeria is elected to office, the suffering would continue, which no one in the country would wish to happen. Time has come for Nigerians to put sentiment aside and vote for credibility and integrity. Doing so would bring Nigeria back on her feet. Former President Buhari and his ministers should be investigated and put on trial for the damages they inflicted on the economy of Nigeria before leaving office. Corruption under the leadership of former President Buhari was huge. Former President Buhari and his ministers knew that if they had handed over the leadership of Nigeria to another political party that truly won the 2023 presidential election, there would be serious problems for ex-President Buhari and his ministers. So, in order to cover up the atrocities they committed, they decided to hand over power to Alhaji Bola Tinubu, whom they believed would protect and cover their dirty track records. Again, there are so many corruption issues linked to ex-President Buhari and his ministers, which show how money was stolen and banked abroad. Former President Buhari and his ministers damaged the economy of Nigeria severely before leaving office, which is so sad. Nigerians have already forgotten about it and moved on. Meaning that when you served under a government and another took over power, all the atrocities committed in the past while in office would be thrown into a trash box. Now hear this: any country that engages in such a system cannot grow its economy. Our point again is that those past leaders of Nigeria who stole from the treasury of Nigeria should be investigated and put on trial, and if they are found guilty, they should be made to serve a very long jail term. Doing so would serve as a lesson for others aspiring to go into public offices. In some countries of the world, corruption is a serious crime and attracts death penalty, but in Nigeria, families and friends, including supporters, would applaud you for looting the treasury of the country. This attitude would have to stop if Nigeria, as a country, wants to progress further. The alleged travel expenses of President Bola Tinubu and his vice president within 3 months have reached an alarming level. The Viewers' Corner news correspondent in Abuja, Nigeria, gathered that over 8 billion naira was spent on travel alone by President Bola Tinubu and his vice president within 3 months. This is huge. Though there is nothing too bad when the president of a country and his vice president decide to honor invitations from other countries in the world, it should be carefully looked into to know if it is something they can give attention to before embarking on such a journey. We are saying so because lots of money is involved. Our point is this: there are some invitations that do not need the attention of the president, especially when they involve business abroad, which we expect the government of Nigeria to delegate to the Embassy of Nigeria to handle if truly the government of Nigeria wants to save costs. Again, abroad issues are better handled by a country embassy because every embassy is representing its country in various capacities, except if it becomes absolutely necessary that the president shall be there. If not, It does not make any sense for the president of a country to keep on wasting taxpayers' money on travels when there are so many unresolved issues that need lots of money to sort out. If you calculate what the government of Nigeria has spent within 3 months on travel for the president and his vice president, it is more than enough to settle the most pressing needs of the people of Nigeria. Hence, we are appealing to the government of Nigeria to carefully look into this issue of travel by the President of Nigeria and his Vice President so that they can have it controlled through a cost-saving approach. The government of Nigeria should always use the services of the Embassy of Nigeria when it is necessary to do so. This would go a long way in saving costs for the country. A huge sum of money has been mapped out by the Anambra state government to maintain its Abuja and Lagos offices. This is a complete waste of state government funds. The Viewers Corner news team has been following Governor Charles Soludo's activities since he became the governor of Anambra State to see if, as a professor, he would do things differently. But it is unfortunate that he has joined the list of politicians in Nigeria who are so wasteful. Information from our correspondent in Anambra State in Nigeria revealed that Governor Charles Soludo and his government have budgeted over 60 million naira to maintain the Lagos and Abuja offices. We see this as a waste. Now hear this. When ex-Governor Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State, most of these offices were closed down because it is not important to have such offices outside Anambra State. But Governor Charles Soludo's government sees things differently and is now wasting Anambra State money trying to maintain those offices, which is very bad. This huge sum of money would have been used for other projects that would benefit the people of Anambra State, not to maintain offices outside the state within the country. Again, we are calling on the people of Anambra State to let Governor Charles Soludo understand that all eyes are on him. If his service to the people of Anambra State is to put the state into debt, then he is going to be a one-term governor. So he should be guided. Start now to get things done the right way or lose the next governorship election in Anambra State. These are the words of some of those who spoke to a Viewers Corner news correspondent in Anambra State. The Debt Management Office in Nigeria allegedly said that over 24 trillion naira had been incurred within 3 months. The rate at which Nigeria debt is increasing is so alarming. We believe that before President Bola Tinubu's government leaves office, an unimaginable amount of money may have been incurred. This should be a concern to all Nigerians, because if, in the space of 3 months, according to the Debt Management Office in Nigeria, over 24 trillion naira in debt has been incurred, then before the end of President Bola Tinubu's government, Nigeria as a country may be in serious trouble. How is the debt going to be paid? Based on this, the Viewers Corner news team is appealing to all Nigerians to keep sentiment aside and try to elect a leader who would work to fix Nigeria irrespective of ethnicity, as long as the person in question has the ability and capacity to do the job nicely. We are saying so because in the next election, if Nigerians do not choose wisely, the suffering will continue. Now hear this. The politicians in Nigeria are living large, but the ordinary Nigerian voters who are in majority are the ones feeling the pain, which is sad. So in the next elections, we are appealing to Nigerians to do the right thing. If a leader who will engage in the production of goods and services is elected to lead the country in 2027, then the activities of such a leader and how he or she tackles the economy of Nigeria will bring the debt burden under control in the long run and also stabilize the economy of Nigeria. If you want more in-depth analysis on politics and good governance, subscribe to Viewers Corner News and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Thanks for watching.